everyone. Welcome to Friday Night Free for All. We're going to have a doubleheader weekend. As you all know, it's a big weekend here in pro wrestling as we are going into Elimination Chamber, and we got a couple of GCW shows on the loose this weekend. And, with our usual night being Saturday nights, this week we're going to go at it Friday, talk the hot wrestling topics, give a little breakdown on Elimination Chamber, and tomorrow night we will come back at it and we will talk specifically about the road to WrestleMania and what the Rocky Road forecast is going to look like. And it seems like things are smoothing out. So at this time, I'd like to bring in a couple of guys that are in the, so to speak, studio waiting to come on in. AJP himself, Mr. Adam Jack Pelly. How are you there, Sidewalk Sam?
I'm all right, brother. How are you?
Doing good. Next, I'll bring in the stiff one himself, Mr. Stiff Mike King.
What up? I'm doing all right. What's going on?
Hey,
I just like to I like to say something here. I didn't watch it live, but I watched the replay, and my neighbor, he's from Iran, and he's a huge Iron Sheik fan. The Iron Sheik legend. That's all he'll say. I told him the story about Mike driving the Iron Sheik, and it was over with him. He laughed. So
yeah, that was
spreading the word, Mike. I enjoyed the podcast. It was a great story.
Thank you.
All right. Next, live from Paradise Valley Wrestling is none other than the producer of the show, the man, the myth, the legend, 30-year veteran. My interview next week, Mr. Mickey Biggs. What's going on tonight, brother?
What's going on, brother? What's going on? Just got done with a little spot here at Paradise Valley Pro Wrestling. And for those of you who don't know, Mario Mancini had surgery back a little while ago and had one of his toes amputated.
Oh, wow.
So he's going by the name of Mario Nine Toes right now. And the guy that I was managing broke his leg over the weekend. And
oh, wow.
That he wanted to wrestle. So Mario told him, no, you can't wrestle. And I was like, what are you talking about, man? Have you lost your mind? And he's like, you not only lost a toe, but you must have lost your mind because I'm wrestling. And, quick, 2-minute match. He hit the guy with the crutch and walked off.
Good old school spot right there.
Absolutely.
How's the weather down there in Connecticut this evening?
About 32 degrees right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
not bad.
It went from 60 degrees this morning until like 39 by 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, we're like that here. It was like 11 degrees, and right now it's like -5.
Nobody asked you. Shut up. Sorry, Pelly.
It started here at about 42, and then at 4 o'clock we got what they call a flash freeze here, where it went rapidly down from 40, all of a sudden right to 19 degrees within the matter of about 15 minutes. So, all right. Let's just kick it off like usual. Anybody catch Monday Night Raw? I happen to catch it today, so it's fresh in my mind. And I thought it was a good show this week.
It wasn't bad. I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing because I wasn't feeling up to par, but it was. I watched most of it.
Thought it was a good show. I enjoyed it. What were you going to say, Pelly? Go on, buddy.
I have a little respect for Rhea Ripley and her work in that gauntlet match.
Yes. The women's match was good.
She can work. That girl can work.
So that's why I think it's funny that people think that she's going to get released. I think that everybody's so spot on wrong.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley is somebody that Vince McMahon is going to highly focus on.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
If he doesn't, he is out of his mind And if she was a talent that could go someplace else, it could really be a great additive in any women's division.
Well, they knew
Absolutely.
she was going to be a star the moment she had the tryout. They said, "We know you're going to be a star in WWE." The moment she had her tryout.
And she hasn't proven them wrong yet.
No, I'm a Rhea Ripley fan. I used to say that she looked like Pete Dunne's twin sister. Just like I think Shayna Baszler and Happy Corbin are the same person.
Oh my God! You're so wrong. Anyways,
Oh,
I thought the main event was decent this week on Raw. I thought that match with Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton, I like the angle that they're coming up with. To save it, like, yes, the story, I believe the storylines aren't like, oh my God, gripping by the end of this, at the edge of my seat. But it was nice how Alpha Academy came out. It wasn't just buried after 3 to 4 weeks on television with them doing those spots. So, you know,
I enjoyed.
I think
Go ahead, Rumble.
I think that Raw wrote a pretty good program this week.
I enjoyed Priest and AJ Styles as well.
Yes. Do you notice that the WWE on the TV matches, they may put two really good guys in there, but they don't give you the time. Like, that's the one thing I'll say about AEW. They give away pay-per-view quality matches. With the WWE, they give you a small plate of chicken, broccoli, and ziti. And if you want the big full plate, you're gonna come to the restaurant.
exactly.
Wow.
If that makes any sense.
They give you the lunch special
Yeah.
versus the dinner special.
Yes.
Hey, Mickey Biggs, you guys run every weekend?
Just about
Interesting.
every weekend. If they're not running here at the school with a show, they've got, well, right now because of COVID, they're at the school strictly, but yeah, they got another show next weekend, and then the next one is like March, either the first or second Saturday in March.
How many people fit in the school?
We got about 100, 150.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Wow. What
That's
part of
real
Connecticut?
Yeah, Rumble. I hear what you're
East
saying.
Haven.
Like the pay-per-views. Sorry, the pay-per-views are like the main course, and they want you to give them a tip afterwards.
Yeah. I think that, like, if you were to see the Damian Priest versus AJ Styles, I believe on a pay-per-view you're gonna get 20 minutes of kick-ass quality. Wherein I think maybe that match went about 12 minutes.
Not even. It was a hard 8.
Okay. Yeah, it didn't seem like it went all that long, but it was a very good sample size to say, wow, imagine if these two guys lock horns, which I think is going to be, I think AJ does not win that title at Elimination Chamber, but we'll get into our Elimination Chamber predictions a little bit later on in the show.
All right, let's talk about the pink elephant in the room, can we please?
Oh Jesus! I knew you wanted to bring this up. Let's talk. Put it out there, and then I want to be the last to chime in on this because I have
I'll
a
go
couple
after
of
Mike.
different beliefs going on about it right now.
And you and I spoke about it earlier, actually.
Yes, we did.
All right, so I find it
wanted
kind
to
of
talk. We lost him.
shut up. I'm talking. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. So it's kind of funny how he left AEW, Mr. Cody Rhodes, and 3 days later, a new promotion is starting up. Anybody find that kind of funny?
A little bit. I was thinking like.
Yeah, I do, but
thinking,
go on, Pelly, because I'll give my 2 cents later. But I just had something on my tongue, but I'm gonna keep it right up here in my brain as hard as I possibly can.
here's what I was thinking. Like when AEW started, Cody Rhodes was him and pretty much Kenny Omega that were the guys in that promotion.
No, it was the
Now you
Bucks
got guys
too.
coming in like Bryan Danielson. You got CM Punk. You got MJF, who's become a bigger star than Cody Rhodes. You got even a Darby Allin, who's got a bigger push and a bigger star than Cody Rhodes. So he's not really the man there anymore. So maybe he's looking for the spotlight again, or WWE is going to give him a bigger spotlight or a bigger push than he's getting AEW. Or my thoughts are with Mike that this new promotion's coming out, and he could give these guys a better look and a better help that they need to start a promotion to get these guys off the shelf on their feet.
So so on that train of thought, so do I believe he's going to WWE? No, I don't think he's going to go to WWE. Do I believe that he left AEW because he was butthurt because he lost his booking power and he is not the man anymore?
I love that comment from whoever's on Twitch. Sweet Jesus, it is the perfect evolution of beard growth.
I do believe that. I don't think that him leaving AEW is a work. I really don't. I really think he's gone. I think he's gone. With the new promotion opening up, shot a lot of holes in a few people's theories that he was going to show back up with Killer Cross and EC3 and Braun Strowman. If he's going to show up on WWE TV, it's either going to be tonight or it's going to be tomorrow at the at Saudi. Go ahead, Jay.
All right. So the promotion, I think, is funny because I read the whole thing and, we're going to make matches that defeat, and we're going to put this person over. This person's going to get their appreciation award and blah. It's just more BS about people crying and people whining. And Brock Lesnar's absolutely right that if you want to be noticed, you got to go out there and grab the brass ring. And
I agree with that. I agree.
But this is exactly why AEW was supposedly invented, because it's for the fans. It's for the this. It's for the that.
And look where we are 3 years now. 3 years.
I think the promotion that they're talking about, and this is just me, but I believe those shows are the comeback of Ring of Honor.
Yep, I agree.
Okay? That's what I believe. I do not believe it's a brand new promotion that blah, blah, blah. No. We all know that Ring of Honor was scheduled to make a comeback in either March or April of 2022. And last I heard was they were scheduled to make a comeback in Dallas, Texas. That is where one of the shows, if I'm not mistaken, is scheduled to take place. So in my estimated words, this is nothing of a new promotion. This is just the rebirth of Ring of Honor Wrestling. That's
with calling it new. Like if I'm a wrestling fan and I see a new promotion that has like big production and big commercial.
What have you seen from them, Kelly? I'm going to be honest. Hear me out. What have you seen other than a post from a bunch of renegades, okay, saying that they're going to make a brand new promotion? What have you seen?
Nothing. But if they get it off the foot with TV and social media, and they start doing that like AEW started, I'm going to get interested because I'm always looking for new wrestling.
You're already interested. But I'm telling, this is just my opinion. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
All I have is social media, Facebook.
Yep, that's right. So, in my opinion, I really don't think it's the. I don't think it's a brand new company. I believe it's the rebirth of Ring of Honor, and I
There's
take
nothing
it that
wrong.
this is. I take this
Nothing
as
wrong with
James
that.
Forbes. Forbes, look at this.
This idiot.
I've been asking you to make like an opener for the show. You make your own entrances and you make a really good Big Kev show with like laughing and the whole other, and you haven't even been able to build me something that could go 30 seconds.
I'm
What
improving.
a
I'm gonna work on it.
fine. How do you do?
Can you hear me, fellas?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you echoing in our ear too, you jackass.
I don't know what's wrong with my
Unfortunately,
video
yes.
stuff.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, this is bad.
that's like
Yep.
some exorcist type shit going on.
Yeah,
Seems
it's
like
like
it
it's
got better.
echoing. No, it didn't get better.
No, it didn't. It's echoing.
I'm not even saying
What?
anything.
But we're echoing now.
Sign off, you punk.
I can all I can hear is myself and my annoying nasally voice in my ears.
Yeah,
Help me
So-
log off and log on again.
yeah, log off and log back on again.
Get that picture of Jesse the Nobody Ventura down.
Test.
Dude, kick him.
You're giving us a watch. Hold on a second. I'm taking you off the screen for a minute. See, now there's no echo.
Yeah, it's him.
He is echo.
It's his shitty freaking.
Yep, with that stupid thing.
Yeah.
The way y'all logged in is giving us an echo. You have to come back on the show and enter the studio.
All right, fellas.
All right, that Tourette syndrome background and focus that's coming in ain't gonna work. I'll be right back on, fellas.
Oh my god, he's trying to kill me today. So,
Tourette syndrome back.
Go ahead, Mike.
Tourette syndrome. So, Mickey Biggs, what are your thoughts on it? And he froze. Mickey Biggs,
Yeah, you heard?
Yes, sir.
what's your thoughts on the whole Cody Rhodes situation?
My thoughts on it's just unbelievable to think that work of some kind. I mean, he was the vice president. You got to think that he did some type of investing into that company.
Well, yeah. The rumor has it is that they all put money into the company. Every single one of them. The Bucks, Omega, and Rhodes put money into it. And then Tony Khan put up most of the money. That's why he is the majority owner of AEW. Right. And I just think that they all probably got their money back and then some. And that's when Tony Khan decided to take the reins from everybody, and he is the sole writer and the sole producer of AEW, and it shows because it's the.
Oh, absolutely.
Is it? It's an echoing still? Yeah, man.
Get out! Get out!
You're echoing still. You gotta do something about the Tourette's.
Oh my god.
That is annoying. So look at him. He's just flashing like.
Told you it's the poltergeist.
All right.
Is he at work still or what?
I don't know. So
because if he works in an office, their internet sucks.
It does. It's horrible. He's killing it. It's still.
Go away. Go away.
Take that green screen down or something.
It
really is echoing. I just kicked him off.
He sent a message in chat and said that he is at work and to keep him off.
His echoing, it's like his computer has Tourette's. And he's
Actually, I thought it was
blinking.
the space between his ears, but
I'll tell you. So, all right, to get more on the Cody aspect, I think like I have a long drawn out, like I could go on and on and on about it. I could go on about how people wrote specific things. All right, cool. Let's see if it's working now.
Oh my god.
nope.
Dude, your internet, wherever you're coming in from, makes you like flash in and out, and it's giving an echo in our ears.
All right, I'll just listen in.
All right, buddy. Sorry.
It's like a bad Bray Wyatt promo.
Go ahead, Rumble.
So hear me out. So the first thing I think about, and I don't know if I want to give AEW that much credit for being this bright if this legitimately is a work. Like, you're telling me this company that can't write a story to save their life came up with the fact on how to draw heat backstage, number one for Cody, saying that he had a falling out with the Young Bucks. He had a falling out with Hangman Adam Page. Things aren't going right between him and Tony Khan. He ain't going to re-sign his deal. Brandy all of a sudden becomes hard to work with backstage and is rubbing the talent the wrong way.
Yeah, but yeah, that could have been.
Hear me out.
Right,
I am the Mike. I know, man. I know. I'm just saying, if they're this bright to write a storyline that has taken a year to accumulate and finally come to fruition, if this is true, you got to give it. You kind of got to give it to them in a certain way, shape, and form. You know what I mean? Like if you think about it, this is a year. This has gone on for a year, or basically, and this is just my thing. I was under the assumption, which ASS call me the ass if this isn't true, but I was under the impression and or assumption that Cody invested initial money when the project first came up, meaning the first pay-per-view and helping get the company together where they needed to be. So I'm not sure if that carried over to when everything became legitimized and that's why he became a VP. But if he does have money in the company, what does a contract even matter, A? And B, if this is a work and he comes back at Revolution with 2 to 3 other type of guys that had once worked with Vince McMahon, it seems like a pretty good story. But if I were Cody, with the way that he left WWE, the 6-year battle, basically it was 5-6 year battle that he had with WWE head offices, just to take his name, to see what Vince has done and why a major part of this company, AEW, meaning that it has been built off of the disgruntled, held back WWE employee, I think Cody would have to get a huge contract with lots of provisions that are written that if things don't go right, he can automatically be released without going through and not like if I was Cody, I'd have to have a really tight contract written so that things of this nature does not happen again. Because Mike, we all know, and we all know Mickey, we all know Pelly, one of the biggest things and first things in this business is the word trust.
No,
Can Cody really trust Vince McMahon? That's the $1 million question.
And
Right,
you know,
so-
I have to say that I think it's funny that all this with Cody. I mean, yeah, it's been accumulating for the past year or so, but I think it's funny that it all hit the media relatively around the same time as the quote unquote firing of Shane McMahon. I think it should have something to do with maybe AEW trying to make fun of the Shane McMahon issue.
Yeah, but as I stated on Wednesday when Jay and I did our interview, if there wasn't any kind of truth to him going to WWE would have came out by now and said he's not coming here.
I agree with that, but at the same time, could the WWE just plainly kayfabe it?
No, because they're being thrown into the middle of it.
Yeah.
I honestly think that they would say he's not coming here, and it's don't believe everything that you see, because they did that with Punk, as I stated before. When everyone thought that Punk was going to WWE, they flat came out and said, we want nothing to do with him. We don't want to work with him. End of story. So.
And Brandy was having some great promos with that Top Team guy.
Yeah.
She was doing some great stuff, some great promos, and then it all ended. So I don't know, she must be leaving with Cody, or they're doing the same work, trying to make it a work. But I wish
evidently they're under the same contract.
That was some great stuff. That was some great promos. But I don't know.
It's interesting. Like I said, get your popcorn, because you just don't know where he's gonna, like, if it is a work or if it isn't a work. Like I told Mickey Biggs today, I believe that picture that is circulated with him in the Turkish airport, okay, or wherever it was. Let's look at how relevant that airport is in subsequence to Saudi Arabia.
It's like it's like the 3/4 point to Saudi Arabia.
Okay, so now I believe that picture was taken before he even went to AEW, while he was out on the road as an indie guy. I don't believe that picture. I believe that picture is false. I believe it's all released propaganda so that we, the wrestling fan, are drawn in. So I believe the picture's fake. With everybody sucking us in to believe he's on his way to Elimination Chamber. Where does he go? Where does he fit in the Elimination Chamber?
The photo's like the same as Tony Khan with Titus O'Neil and Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, the thing is Titus O'Neil played for the Jacksonville Jaguars, so that picture is true.
So okay. I'm gonna tell you right now, that picture is recent because his neck tattoo is there. His neck tattoo was not there when he was on the Indies. He got that done like a year ago.
He did. While he was in AEW, he got that done.
He got that for you're right. He got that the first, like, when AEW first debuted.
Yeah. So that picture's recent.
Okay. So it throws down my hey, like I said, I think we just got to see where it goes.
Yeah,
the only one thing that makes sense, does Cody trust Vince McMahon? Does he trust going back to the WWE? And which you can say is a viable thing. Does he get stuck being Stardust 3 months from now? When he does,
he must be getting the same. He must be getting the same paydays he was getting in AEW or more.
I can make it on.
All right, brother. You have a good one.
Thanks, brother. Talk to you guys later.
All right, good luck. Break a leg.
I do believe that if he is going to the WWE, he's going to have a contract where he is main event status. I think it's the only way he will go back.
And he's getting a better payday.
Yeah,
better payday too.
He's not going to go back to being Stardust.
No, it's just a joke.
That's the reason why he left.
I just don't. So this is Forbes right here. With TK in charge of created by himself, this show has zero direction. It will go off the rails more and more as each week passes. They do not have one storyline to invest in. Joey Kilmartin would hate hearing that.
Well, it's true.
The best storyline AEW has right now is Adam Cole.
Yeah. Go on.
is Adam Cole, whether he's with the Bucks or whether he's with Red Dragon. That's the best storyline they got.
Cody got a better pop as Stardust than who he is now. The guy can't wrestle unless he's in makeup.
Well,
Mike,
true.
it's sort of like you and Cody Rhodes. Not that, but you can wrestle as Stiff Mike. You're just more comfortable as the APOC.
Yeah.
But Cody is more comfortable as Cody.
Well, Cody, Joe, Forbes had made a comment saying that, the WWE shows will think that Cody's the best thing going when he goes back to WWE. No, Cody's still the shits. He's still a mid-carder in my book. And you think he's overrated, just like the Bucks are overrated. I think Omega's overrated, and so is it Moxley. So, I mean, you throwing that jab at me should just shut up.
From
Who's
Ralph,
that?
Ralph Squillanti.
We'll tell him to grow a little bit, then we'll talk. You midget.
So
other news this week. There's no more 205 Live.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
It's a new show, NXT Live Up or something.
You knew that was coming.
So now the NXT guys are on tour with the WWE.
Yep.
Because that show's being filmed before, I believe, before or after SmackDown, correct?
Yeah. And I forgot SmackDown's taped, so you won't see Cody Rhodes tonight.
Oh, when was SmackDown taped?
They're all in Saudi Arabia right now.
Okay.
So it was taped last week.
I'm surprised stuff like that doesn't leak out on the internet.
It did.
Oh, it did?
How do you
Yeah,
think
Sami Zayn won the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because right now the live bug is not up on the screen.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing really on tonight. But I am looking forward to so Ralph says nope, that's Jeff. Ralph says love you, Mike. After, yes, even on WWE. Jeff, if you could just fill me in, because there's so many comments coming in, even on the WWE website. What do you mean by that? So, yeah, I just felt tonight would be a perfect night to talk a little bit of the subject of pro wrestling. The Cody Rhodes thing seems to be really hot right now. And why not give it the news it deserves?
Well, it's not really. I mean, it kind of died out pretty quick, to be honest with you. I mean, it was hot when it first happened, but nothing's really come out. They keep, there's a few places saying that, they're talking about what's going on with the contract, and that McMahon's got big plans for him, and that he could be at WrestleMania. I mean, that's all I've been really hearing. So. Then, of course, you got Dave Meltzer kissing Tony Khan's ass.
NXT Level Up. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
So what were you just saying about Tony Meltzer or whatever?
Yeah, Meltzer's kissing Tony Khan's ass. Named him Booker and Promoter of the Year. More like Clown of the Year. Come on, really?
So this Meltzer guy, what is he? Is he like Pro Wrestling Illustrated writer, or I'm familiar with Meltzer. I know he's a wrestling writer. What else does he do?
That's it. He runs a Wrestling Observer.
That's all he does. He ran the mock sheet. He's a smart mock. That he was a mock that was led in the locker rooms, and the wrestlers give him insight. And
he came up with the 5-star match, didn't he? Is he the one that came up with the 5-star match?
He is the one that has come up with the 5-star rating, which not many WWE performers get. And Jeff, to answer your question, I believe The Rock will be at WrestleMania, because I am liking what people are saying about The Rock will confront Roman Reigns, and it will be a 12-month build-up for WrestleMania in Los Angeles, California.
Think so?
Another thing I'm liking
I
this
think
week.
more and more, and I love the fact that that's a great place for him to go into the Hall of Fame.
Another thing I'm liking this week, I'm hearing, I don't know what's going to happen, but Steve Austin and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania.
Yes.
God, I hope not.
Why not? Give me
not?
why you don't
Yeah.
want to see that.
Well, first of all, Stone Cold Steve Austin is what, 56 years old.
Yeah.
He hasn't wrestled in 19 years.
Ooh, really? Has it been that long?
2003 was his last match against The Rock.
I didn't even think it was that long.
WrestleMania.
Wow.
Buddy, I'll be honest with you, Mike. I didn't really. Now that you say that, you bring light to it. Yeah, okay.
So,
But still, he looks like he's in pretty decent shape, and
I understand that. I understand
Jeff,
that.
we'll get to your question in a minute.
I understand that, but my point is that let the man be. Vince McMahon's been trying to get him to come back for one more match, and he's always said no. Let the man be. Now they're pushing for it because they had Owen shit on Dallas, Texas. That's where Austin's from. Blah, 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 blah. Let it go. Just let the man retire. Stay retired. Like, I don't think he's going to. I think if it's a brawl, okay. Throwing hands is one thing.
Yeah. All he has to do is put a beer in the sky. That's all he has to do.
Yeah. But the thing of it is with, when Michaels came out of retirement, which he never should have, and it was an abortion, that match. It was horrible. I've seen indie matches better than that. So, I don't know. It's just like I said, 19 years. He hasn't wrestled in 19 years. So, like, why?
All he has to do is a stunner, and people go home happy.
Yeah, but he's got to go one-on-one match with Owens.
Yeah, I get you.
I'm not saying that Owens isn't capable of, of carrying them or working with them, and but I just think it's redundant.
See, the only one thing I thought was funny is that kid there. I think it's Dan Bellevue or it was Nick Allison McKenna that had to put up. I don't see a storyline to that, and I don't see a storyline to the Triple H versus Cody. And like I'll be honest with you, dude. When people say dumb shit like that, I almost want to tell them that they're not allowed to watch wrestling no more. Because that's literally dumb. How can you say that Cody and Triple H don't have a storyline?
With nobody on,
you know what I mean? Then how can you say that Stone Cold and Kevin Owens, even though it's a vanilla storyline where it's stunner versus stunner, and Stone Cold says, I'm a WWE Hall of Famer. How can you take my finishing move and think you can make money off it? Jack him, set of dimes, boom, and leaves the ring. You know what I mean? And then that so to say that you can't make a storyline out of that, I almost want to revoke a person's wrestling card because they evidently don't pay attention. That is like so stupid.
All right. So the what a lot of people don't realize, and I'm going to tell you right now, I read this in more than one article. Cody Rhodes and Triple H talk all the time.
Yes, I know that.
So there's no
day-to-day basis. No, I know, but the whole Cody going to AEW and everybody in wrestling knows it. Yes, and like doing that. So there is, and if there isn't, that's what the power of the stick is for. Him saying, Triple H, you held me down. You did the same thing to my old man. Like all you need is a good stick and 5 minutes worth of TV time, and you make yourself a storyline. It's like what Brock Lesnar said. If you want something, you got to go out there and do it.
Well, he's not wrong. That's for sure.
So you don't need all the high spots. He said you don't need to do that.
Yep. First of all, I would love to see Triple H versus Cody, but Cody I mean, Triple H cannot wrestle anymore.
That's what I've been told, that his heart, even though he can work out in the gym, I heard his in-ring wrestling career is over.
Yep. Forbes it makes him look like you. Continue.
So Pelly is saying Austin comes in and hits a KO with a couple of stunners and calls it a day. What does that
No,
do?
they have it. I'm not saying that. They're going to have a match, but
get him, Pelly, get him.
Austin is so good, he can make anybody look great. Doesn't matter how long of a match they have. They work so well together. They make each other look good. He's not going to go over there and squash them.
Nope, but can I tell you something?
They're two great professional wrestlers. They'll make each other look good.
I think in order to do it right, KO has to go over on Stone Cold somehow.
Yep.
And Austin would agree with that because that's the type of person he is.
See, but a person like Forbes, you would hurt, and I wish you could make your signal clearer. It would hurt a wrestling fan's feelings like a Forbes if Stone Cold was to come out on Monday Night Raw, crack a couple of beers, suck them SOBs down, kick Owens in his fat Santa belly, and stun his neck that's a replicate of a stack of dimes.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't mean that. No.
And, well, I see that could happen on Raw to open it up, and then at WrestleMania, KO at the end is like, a student just beat the teacher. And then the crybaby Kleenex wrestling fan, like the Pink Cat, the Dog King, the Wyndham ain't coming there, would be, all right, now I'm a little happy. Buddy, please.
Well, I will agree with the clown on one thing. Wyndham's not going to WWE. He's going to go to that new promotion if it gets off the ground.
I will continue. I believe it's the rebirth of Ring of Honor.
Okay, but if you really look at all of those promos now, right, that been out on YouTube, who does he talk about? Braun Strowman, EC3, Killer Cross. I'm telling you now, that's where he's going. He's going to show up at that new promotion.
Okay, he's going to show up at the rebirth of Ring of Honor.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Because that's what I believe. I do not believe there's a new promotion. I don't believe networks would want to take the risk in saying, okay, you believe you can be the next AEW? How about you go out and for 1 year put your shows on and let us as a station be the judge of that? I believe the only way people can come out and say, we have a solid TV deal, blah, 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 and these are our venues. It is Ring of Honor masking their comeback.
Well, if you notice the last Ring of Honor show, who showed up at the last Ring of Honor show?
Yes, Braun Strowman in the narrative.
EC3 too, yep.
Yep.
Because AEW was at Atlantic City, correct? Have already been to Atlantic City?
I don't think so.
Because supposedly Killer Cross was supposed to debut for AEW at Atlantic City. Now that's been changed.
When is Killer Cross? When is AEW going to Atlantic City?
I thought they were already there.
Okay, GCW is in Atlantic City this weekend for two big shows at the Showboat Casino and Arena. A beautiful Saturday evening show, and then Sunday they have a double hitter where H2O will be the headliner at noontime with a barbed wire main event between Atticus Koga and Matt Tremont, and then GCW later on that day at 5:00 puts on a Sunday show. So for the hardcore wrestling fan out there that loves the blood, the guts, great weekend of wrestling. I know for me, I will watch Elimination Chamber tomorrow, and then I will watch GCW to wrap up the night.
And so for Jeff Ferguson's question about Cardona being Wrestler of the Year, That's crap.
I'll once I put Jimmy Fingers in, this is why I would believe, and just hear me out. Forbes, excellent,
There you
excellent,
go, buddy.
beautiful.
Can you hear me?
So yeah, much
Sorry.
better.
Forbes, I'm sorry for yelling at you. I apologize.
And that's all good, man.
And Forbes, I do agree that if the way you stipulate the Stone Cold beating up KO at WrestleMania, what would it do for KO? You're absolutely right. But if they were to do a segment on Raw in order to open up the challenge, I don't see anything wrong with Stone Cold coming out on the KO show,
No problem.
acting like he's best friends with them. Oh, let's drink a beer right now. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Kicks him in the belly.
I was
and-
talking about the match itself. Like,
Oh, I would not want that to happen either.
No.
And he's got to lose.
Oh, yes. I that's the first thing I said. Is Stone Cold needs to put KO over.
But knowing Vince, he won't do that.
If you could get 8 to 10 minutes out of Stone Cold at WrestleMania, and this is just my estimation, I believe just with crowd reaction that they would not have to do shit and could go 15 minutes.
Do you guys remember a few WrestleManias ago when they had that stupid stable with like Rusev and the B team, and they were like a reject stable?
Yeah.
Austin actually wrestled that WrestleMania with Foley, HBK. They had like a schmoz. Like,
Yeah, but he didn't really wrestle. He just went in there and beat somebody up. His actual last match was against The Rock in 2003 at WrestleMania. I think it was like 17.
I think he took like one bump or something, a real small one, but he looked okay.
I think Stone Cold could go with. Listen, it's just like The Rock and Hogan. As far as I'm concerned, I think the crowd reaction in Dallas, Texas will be Rock, Hogan. Not exactly, but they will be able to get that moment where there's going to be anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes that they're not even going to have to lock up. It's just teasing them back and forth,
I agree with that.
And then from there, it's butter. If you can get 6 minutes of in-ring action, you just fill the 20-minute spot, And I say this because and Mike would understand, and Mickey Biggs would understand, and Pelly would understand. If you have a crowd that's eating out of your palm,
no question. Andre and Hogan was shit too.
Yep.
Great.
And this is where I can throw you in, Jimmy Fingers, as a musical performer. And you've been to many concerts. When they light the lighter and they want that encore, and they know they got that crowd, and all the drummer has to do is just keep on going boom, 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 while the place is dark and they got that crowd just. So they're back there snorting a few lines and drinking a couple of beers and smoking some weed so they can go back out there on stage and get 2 more songs out. Okay? It's the same thing.
No, let me be clear, man. Like I said what I just said, but like Andre versus Hogan at Mania 3 and Hogan versus Rock at Mania 18 are 2 of my favorite matches of all time. Not because of the match, but because of the electricity.
And that's what I believe, KO. I believe, and this is my opinion, I believe KO and Stone Cold Steve Austin in Dallas, Texas can create and replicate that same type of environment, man.
Agreed.
I think
totally agreed.
Excited for it. I would just hope that Austin knows better to lose, unlike Goldberg.
Yeah.
Well, do you hear the latest thing from Goldberg? He'll re-sign if he wins the title.
Yeah,
I heard he already resigned for 3 years and 9 matches.
Nope.
If Austin does well, there's talk about Austin versus Goldberg, which would be a huge liability for Austin. He would be in danger.
Yes.
Yeah.
But imagine the money he'd make with Saudi Arabia for that match.
KO can carry him.
Yep.
Goldberg cannot.
Yeah. So, Forbesy, give us what your belief, because we all heard you've heard our beliefs on the Cody Road saga. where are you leaning, and what do you believe?
I think that right now Cody is. I agree with Mike on the level of what Cody is. I've never been a huge fan, but he's definitely a solid mid carder. Never liked him, but what he's doing all the way up until like his last promo, like that whole teetering bit before he was, will you or won't you turn heel? He's got everybody talking about him right now, and nobody knows what the F is going on. And if it is a work of some kind, this will be the greatest one since the Montreal Screwjob, and there's got to be a lot of credit.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but it will be a good work.
Yes, I think it'll be the greatest hidden secret since WrestleMania when the Hardys. Everybody thought, but when you were able to pull one over on the boys and back, I believe that's a pretty close one there. The Hardys WrestleMania.
Yeah.
This would if this goes out like this will be way bigger than that.
Oh, yes, I definitely agree. It will be way bigger, but there hasn't been kayfabe legit in a long time.
These wild scenarios, and we're still talking about it. We have no clue what is about to happen. That's pretty damn good work, guys.
Yes. Oh, I love it. That's why I get your popcorn ready.
And if Cody going to WWE is good for business, and what what I would hope for, because you had all these guys go from WWE to AEW. Let's see guys go back and forth like the old territory days. That would be great for business.
Yep, but I agree.
Tony Khan needs someone fucking agenting and booking those shows because AEW is off the rails, man. It is all over the place. Too much talent. I can't even watch it all the way through now. Like, they have the talent. That's the thing. It's like, focus on what you have. Stop signing people and just get someone to write the fucking stories, man. Because Punk and MJF, okay, there's a story there now. Hangman and what do they got cooking here with Adam Cole? Okay, yeah. I could get into that, but everything else, nobody else matters. It's like getting like WWE like. It's like
I thought Raw was. I say this, I'll go at it again. I thought Raw was a good program to watch. The Rhea Ripley, match was a good one.
Match of the night.
And then I thought the main event wasn't bad. I didn't think that. I liked the way that the Alpha Academy came out. Orton came down. It was transpired. Was Orton going to get counted out? I love how when he dove in the ring. Seth hit him with the gimmick and the 1, 2, 3. I like how things are opening right now.
Chad Gable is doing the work of his career right now.
Chad Gable, I love it. Shoosh! Shoosh! With the 4.0 GPA. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And
I love it.
He's awesome in ring, which you know what I mean, gets overlooked.
He's always been good in the ring. He's always been a good worker.
I mean, American Alpha won the tag titles off of Bray and Randy way back when SmackDown was like hot as hell in 2016. That's what was awesome. But yeah, they beat Bray and Randy for those tag titles, man. It was, I don't know, man. I think this is just good for business. If Cody winds up there, he's going to be in a good spot, and there's so many stories that could be written for him. But is he going to be able to cut the same kind of promo? Is he going to have that creative freedom to do so?
That's what I talked about. If I'm Cody Rhodes, I don't think I'm going to go back to the WWE without certain things in legit writing.
Well, I'm sure, and to touch on that, I'm sure that's what he's doing. He's probably making a contract secure for himself to go back.
Like, if Vince screwed me, I don't want no 90-day compete clause, especially if it's something against what we wrote. I want right away, I'm able to go right back out and do what I need to do. I would want definite creative control to a certain extent. I want freedom on the microphone. Why would you leave a place that you basically had all that to go back to be controlled?
Right.
So that's about the only thing that Joey Kilmartin said that made sense is why would a guy who was so disgruntled with the company that made it a point to grab a group of other fellas to create a wrestling promotion that was based upon not listening to the man and having the freedom to do this and the freedom to do that.
But now he doesn't have that freedom because Tony Khan took the reins.
Okay. What if the taking of the reins is just a proverbial work?
This is why we
So
do
it
what
all
we do.
follows into that year-long storyline.
But this is why. But this is why we do this show, is to speculate.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's why I'm thinking, how could things change, Mike? That's like you being Tony Khan, me
God,
being
don't insult me
Cody.
like that.
Okay, don't insult me. And you let me do what I want to do, and then all of a sudden say, you know what, Jay? I know you're the VP, but you know what? Push came to shove. It's my 20 million versus your 1 million. So now you're just going to listen to me. You're going to shut the fuck up and you're going to do what I tell you. I'd be like, you know what I mean? How does that go over?
But you also have to understand that they also made the switch from TNT to TBS. And who knows that maybe the TV executives don't want that anymore. Because TNT have blatantly said, do not pull any more surprises. We need to know who's coming, and so doesn't the fans.
Yep. This road to WrestleMania, pro wrestling right now is at a great time for news and the talking. So I guess with it being able to say, let's get into the fact. What do we believe is going to happen tomorrow at noontime in Saudi Arabia?
Riddle's going to be the new champion.
I don't rule that out, Mike.
I'm saying Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins
is not winning that title. Absolutely not.
Riddle wins that title. Then you got Randy and
Riddle at WrestleMania, what they wanted to do from the beginning.
And then you have Roman and Brock do their thing for that title. So you got two marquee title matches. I don't want the unification title match. Not in this WWE. You need two.
Fox not going to allow that to happen anyways.
Right. As far as Cody showing up, I don't think so. I don't think he's showing up there. Like, what would he do? Would he win the Elimination Chamber or take someone out to get in the spot and then win it? Like, they wouldn't throw a title on him.
Why not? What if they did? Like, what if that happens? Like, what if all of a sudden Vince McMahon goes back to wrestling and Cody Rhodes comes in and wins the title? What if that happens?
I think it would be awesome because you can put Rollins against Cody. Like, you could obviously make a great match there. You could put Edge against Cody or Orton versus Cody, but you already got the Riddle storyline and they'd have the legacy background story.
Right.
But there's a lot you can do there, like going forward.
Very interesting on how we're talking about Cody Rhodes potentially returning to WWE after being probably, between him and Moxley, two of the most disgruntled employees in recent WWE history.
Yeah, but it also buried like the Stone Cold story. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it still exists, but this story is number one.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And don't forget, Moxley and McMahon squashed their heat a couple of months ago.
Yep.
They
did.
Back. Daniel Bryan's going back.
They're all going back.
Keep the door back and forth for everybody. That's how it was in our day.
Listen, Vince and Tom Burdett, we're not going to keep the light on for you.
So I think the winner of the Royal Rumble, of the Elimination Chamber match, is, like, I'm going to stick to, I can't put it to one. I'm going to put it to two. I believe Rollins is my first choice, and I believe that Brock Lesnar will be number two. And I'm not saying that the unification is the right thing, but what if there's something that's worked between the two networks that say for the next 2 to 3 months that Roman Reigns is on USA and Fox with both belts?
No, I don't know. I still say Fox has got a lot to say about that.
Mike, I hear you. I'm just saying.
I'm going.
What if
Hey,
what if Vincent said, I got something that's going to appease both networks because the ratings for both networks, what I'm about to pull off at WrestleMania is at the end of the night when Roman has both belts up in the air, The Rock's music is going to hit. And we are going to be building a year-long story angle between The Rock and Roman Reigns, which means there will be potentiality of The Rock showing up on Monday and Friday nights, not to wrestle, but to cut the promo. And just for those networks having to sacrifice with that, knowing ratings wise what that could do for both shows, I think that they could be willing to put aside having one champion when you could potentially have the best storyline in the WWE in recent memory, covering on both programs with The Rock being added to that mix. I'd have to say that as an executive, I'd be willing to listen to that, and I'd be willing to bend to that. This is why we write. This is why we do the show. Like Mike said, speculation,
and that way you could have Rock make his like appearances throughout the year after the 1 year build. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And the only reason why it's happening now is because he couldn't do the match right at WrestleMania because of the Black Adam movie, which is now done filming. And I'm sure. I mean, I hope that The Rock shows up at WrestleMania because I want to see that match. I want to see that
happens.
I want to see the match. I want to see the match for the head of the table. I want to see who truly is the head of the table.
I think if I'm USA and I'm Fox and I know that I have Roman Reigns guaranteed to be on both programs, I think you're making both parties happy. Well, Roman don't gotta wrestle. Roman just gotta make appearances, man.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what Fox says.
You know? What if the Usos were able to get both? Like, I think there's a way with the way that the wrestlers are not traveling as much. I think that in order to make storylines that much better, I believe there has to be characters that travel to both brands. That's just my opinion.
Let's put it this way, okay? So the Usos are fighting the Viking Raiders tomorrow.
Yep.
If they lose the tag titles, Roman's losing that title either tomorrow or at WrestleMania.
I think the Usos stay champions.
Just saying, if they lose the tag titles to the Viking Raiders, that title's coming off of Reigns either tomorrow, or he loses it to Goldberg and wins it the following Friday back, or he's losing it to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Okay. Yeah. I think Roman Reigns is potentially the on and off again world champion for the next year. I believe that they're trying to build something to go on for the next 3 years. I really do. I believe I believe they want to get The Rock in that ring, some way, some shape, some form. That's why I believe next year he does the deal in Hollywood at the SoFi Stadium. The Hall of Fame ends up on the boardwalk where the Walk of Fame is. Dwayne The Rock Johnson's name is on that walk. I'm like, it's just so much of the atmosphere leans and heavily asphyxiates towards LA and this happening there. That's why I believe, because this year was supposed to be LA.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep, you're right.
This year was supposed to be LA. And just call me whatever you want, but don't call me late for dinner or late for a session. Okay? So I'm just telling you, I believe that this was all a work of The Rock, of a movie coming up, and him saying, and Vince go, we'll save this. We'll let this go on. Look at how great the storyline's going. Do you think Vince McMahon imagined that this story could last for almost 2 years?
No.
Think about it. This storyline has gone on for almost 2 years right now. and then they keep it rolling 6 weeks from now in Dallas, Texas, and then they keep that ball rolling for one more year where The Rock goes in the Hall of Fame and The Rock main events WrestleMania and passes the torch to his cousin, Roman
Yeah,
Reigns.
he's got to put Roman Reigns over if that's what he's going to do.
That's what I believe. That's why I think it would be so awesome if Roman had both belts. And Roman's making appearances on Monday and Friday. And you tell the USA Network and Fox, you're going to have The Rock on your network once a month for the next year to come. You're going to have him on there with taped promos that look like he's live twice a month, which means The Rock, his face, will be on your network of upwards of 3 times. Like, there's certain ways that they're able to pitch it, and I think that if you tell me that the champs are going to be there, and I'm gonna receive the best and strongest angle for the main event, basically build up of WrestleMania, I think the networks are listening, my man. That's just me.
We'll see. 2 weeks from now, we'll see what happens.
All right, fellas. We got anything else we want to talk about? How about Alexa Bliss last night? What's the deal? Is she cured? Why is the Lily doll back? What's the deal with this?
Because I'm going to tell you right now, and this is me just being facetious, but it all depending on what was going to happen with Bray Wyatt. If he was coming back, she was losing the gimmick. If he wasn't coming back, she's keeping it. I think he's not coming back, and she's keeping it.
Interesting. So she will come out as evil Alexa Bliss tomorrow.
I think she'll start off as normal Alexa Bliss, and something will happen in the match, and she'll snap because she's winning the Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah,
Mike. I like that.
When you were getting humbled by Gazoo, there was some things I picked out, man, and you'll pop for this too. The thing I popped for was how Erin McKenzie led you to Johnny Cronus.
Okay.
Now, Erin McKenzie used to date a friend of mine, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they broke up, but Erin made friends with us. So like she was always on our side of the tracks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then she started bringing Johnny around. And we were like, is anybody going to say anything? Because our friend, you know what I mean? They had a bad breakup. I was like, nobody can say a damn thing. So like Erin would bring Johnny around. And like he was just like so quiet.
Yeah.
Very quiet, very soft spoken, but yet very intense too.
Yeah.
But he's been over my house like this or ECW. But people took sides and like just stayed with Erin and be like, fuck Bill.
Yep.
We'll stick with Big John, man. He can protect us. He was just very, very quiet, B. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like nothing of what he became. You know what I mean? But and Perry Saturn, he was working at the Cabaret at the time.
Yep.
Oh man. So I was, you know what I mean? Like I was with them before, you know what I mean? Before they were anything. I didn't think much about it. But he was fucking, no one fucked with him.
That's funny.
But Erin McKenzie was the link. And when you said that, I was like, oh my God. And then I realized she was from your neighborhood.
Yep. She lived in Edgeworth.
So that was the catalyst for you, man.
That was the person who pushed that. I was the horse. She led me to the water. Whether or not I was going to drink the water or not, it was up to me from there. She brought me to Kowalski School. Walter knew her very well. Like when we showed up, he got right out of his seat. Where's the little rat? That's what he called the son, Liam. Where's the little rat?
Did John train with Walter too?
Yeah, him and Perry.
Okay, all right.
Perry used to sleep out in his car. He didn't own a house when he first came here.
And then the other thing, when you were humbling Mike, when his story is wrestling the hot dog safari. And I was telling you, Tony booked that show for us. There was another band, Jay. Do you remember? You ever hear of a band, Jocelyn Bones?
Yes, Jocelyn Bones. Yep.
Oh, so the relationship was more.
They were on Jocelyn Bones when we used to do the
right.
Mass Madness. Jocelyn Bones was one of Tony's commercials.
Exactly. See, this is where I made the connection with him. Now Pat Doyle was involved with that. Bill, the guy in Jocelyn Bones, he had a publication, and that's what we used to push ourselves in the music circuit.
Yep.
We had like Metronome magazine, that were catered to the certain areas of Boston where all those bands are from. So Bill was like, I'm going to make my own magazine. So we did. So I used to get credentials for shows and shit, man. And I would like write articles and give reviews of like shows. And in return from Bill, I would get like my own press. So I'd interview myself and then put it in the publication. And when we got to that point is when Bill established a relationship with Tony Rumble. And that's when he started to, he was doing Bill first in Jocelyn Bones, but then Tony pulled us in. And we just did like 2 shows. And the last one was at the Hot Dog Safari, 1999.
Yep.
Tony died 4 months after that.
Yep.
I just went and looked. Like I went through my career or whatever. So, Mike, if you wrestled that show, I
wrestled that show. I almost got my neck broke by Knuckles Nelson.
You know what? And then they told us, because it was the first time we both collectively played at Suffolk Downs. They were like, no more. Like we spooked. Like for some reason we spooked the horses or something. We were never asked back.
I remember that.
Yeah.
You guys, that Suffolk Downs is gone now, right?
No.
Yeah.
It does not totally. It totally does not exist no more. Level done with.
Yeah. I just poured a foundation 2 weeks ago out there for a strip mall.
So they're not putting another casino there like Revere wanted.
Either that, it was for a casino, but we just poured a big, huge foundation. Huge. Like,
because I was told that's where
700 yards. Yeah.
I was told that's where a Bally's, Bally's Casino was going.
Yep. Then that's what we were pouring.
That's what I was told. Bally's was going there. Bally's Casino.
Yeah. Yeah, but Suffolk Downs is gone. It's sad.
Interesting.
Hey, just to close up that story, though, man, because I listened to both your stories intently, and that's keeping it real. Bill knew I was a huge wrestling fan, and he told me straight out, he's like, don't bother Tony too much. Don't bother him too much. And I was just kind of looking forward to a relationship with the guy, and it just fucking bummed me out.
Yep.
I knew who he was, and I left him alone. We met, you know what I mean? It was just a hello, how you doing? You know what I mean? And it was awful. It affected all of us, because all of those guys in Melrose, that there was a guy who did the cameras for Pat, Jeff Matei. I don't know if you knew him.
Yep.
Yeah, we know.
Dude, I'm surprised you don't know Murad beforehand, and you only know Dan from watching him through wrestling.
You know what?
Dan was one of them. Dan was one of them guys.
He probably was. Actually, but I only knew Pat because Pat and Jeff, we would go to that same studio, and then Bill would conduct interviews in that studio. Like it was, we were all like this, like we were all intertwining, and it was just good for everybody. But
yeah,
Pat was the only one I remember, because he would always do Macho Man for me.
Oh yeah, dig it, all right, yeah.
But like spot on, like the best I've heard.
He was good at it. He was good at it.
But all of those guys were in the midst of helping us, and then when Tony passed, it was just dead. It was over with. And then
it took a lot out of everybody when Tony passed away.
Now,
Jay,
when we connected, right?
Yeah.
Did I hire you, or did someone else hire you to work there at TJ's?
Randy hired me.
Randy, okay, that's right.
Little Randy. He actually tried getting in touch with me a while back, and I didn't get back to him. And I had wondered why he was trying to get in touch with me.
Dude, the last time he tried to get in touch with me, he was he asked me if I wanted drugs. So I was like, and I like Randy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so,
good kid.
So I got to thank Randy then, because that's obviously where you and I really connected. We knew each other, but like when we were able to, really get into it, was there.
Was that because I was at the barbecue pit there, old Chiazzo's with Randy and those guys.
Yeah, that's when
Randy and Frankie and
I was there, dude. I was running that shit behind the scenes, man.
Yeah.
The Dark Side took that on, Jay, to purposely do bad so they could write it off.
Really?
So we had a 1 year window to destroy the place financially.
Oh, and we helped out. Randy had that little hole in the wall that he found between the two things, and he made like a clubhouse out of it.
Yeah. Well, I think they bought the movies, the movie rental place next door, and then they put pool tables in.
Yes.
Then they took on that crazy investment with the barbecue shit. They hired this dude who used to run the town line, not the town line, the South, the place that was across the R&R. What was that?
Yeah, I think it was the South Pacific.
Dude's name was Paul. So we came in there with this barbecue, with all this barbecue stuff, and then hired.
Well, here comes the echo again.
And then you were there at that time.
Yes, we were doing the rib. He had the rib rack where they used to do the ribs at night. Then he had this special recipe for a cornbread and beans. Yeah,
but it wasn't him. It was Linda Kachecki or whatever.
Yes,
the girl's mother. And
that was a good time working there.
Well, the thing was, they ended up stiffing me for like a month's worth of pay, and then I went over there, and then the place was disbanded. They were like, dude, they told me, they were like, we know you got yours, and believe me, I did. That shit was in my pockets, Jay. Hands, I'd hire open mic night. I'd be like, okay, one for you, two for me, one for you, and then I'd go in that back office, man. So like, I wasn't really upset about that, but that was how you and I, got close. Was that time? And obviously, you took me to Woburn when you were wrestling Bo, and that time. And I'm surprised I did not ask you. I was like, Jay, I could take a bump or two. Let me be a manager. Or
I would have let you too.
I don't know why I didn't.
Look at Mike.
Mike knows it too. Mike, we would have said, "Come on in."
Oh yeah,
you know it. You would have said, "Yeah, this dude likes wrestling. Let him come on in. We'll show."
Oh yeah, we love people like you.
Yep. Look at Mike's mouth is salivate. Go, what the fuck? I would have really had a chance to chop the shit out of that fucking chiseled chest.
I don't know why. See, that's what
I would have been an overhand top too. I would have blasted you right in that big chest of yours.
I would have loved it.
I know you would have.
I would have caved that. I would have caved that thing in.
All right.
Yeah, I would have felt bad.
No.
Listen, he brought his cousin Frankie in, and I beat the crap out of him with a steel chair.
He knows Frankie. Frankie worked with us at the barbecue place.
Frankie bag of donuts.
Frankie does my electrical and plumbing work. He put that toilet in my basement.
I love Frankie. Frankie took a beating from me. He's awesome.
Frankie, I have footage, and I thought I posted it before. Like during that time, you were there, Jay. We would go in the kitchen, and we would just start hitting each other with spatulas, and like everybody would go in there loaded.
Oh yeah.
Bathroom brawl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it in the cooler. I was just like, man, because
Frankie somewhere has the videotape of him in his one-time in-ring appearance at the Good Time Emporium, and he lost the DVD. He lost the VHS tape.
That's bad.
I dressed him up in army gear. We called him Private Bailey, like because he looked like Beetle Bailey. He got the fight with the legendary Bull Montana.
And then I pummeled him afterwards, didn't I? With a chair? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, you could take
I wish you came in then. Oh boy, that would have been great.
That was right at the beginning, 2000.
Yeah, that's exactly what the timeline was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tomorrow night, 8:00, let's have a review of the Elimination Chamber. Let's start talking the road to WrestleMania on where this is going to go.
I think it'll be a lot clearer by tomorrow night.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think we've covered enough tonight, boys. And we'll call it up. It wouldn't be an official show if the Fisherman's Game, written by Adam Jack Pelly. Go to Amazon Books right now and You can pick yourself up a copy for roughly around $15.
As
Someday,
he holds the book upside down, idiot.
Mickey Biggs, we're about to call it a night, brother. Tomorrow night, it will be the review of the Elimination Chamber, along with let's give our prospective Road to WrestleMania matches.
Awesome.
All right, brother. And we can see Forbes is well into the book. It looks roughly around 20 pages.
let me give you a line from the chapter Elected.
Oh,
New
here we go.
Evans. It was junior high school, different classmates with different ideas. Bonds were broken and new partners proceeded. Classes shifted through the halls. Julie and Aaron were separated from their usual seats. The twins separated except from doing homework at the kitchen table after supper and dishes were done. That's from this book right here. $14.99, Amazon.
Such a clown. I love it.
Excellent. All right, boys. Tomorrow night. Thank you, everyone out in Facebook.
Face, I love it.
Out in Facebook, Twitch,
Thanks,
and
Fingers.
YouTube.
Fingers, I'm sorry for yelling at you, bud. I apologize.
You weren't yelling.
Listen, Perry, don't apologize to that fool. Keep yelling at him.
If it's me to get you excited like that, you're always so reserved. If I got that out of you, God bless, man.
Fingers, from that view, you look like one of the cone heads with hair.
Man, my hair's rough.
Do you think?
To think of all the hair you had when you was a kid, man. Don't you wish you had saved it from a few of them bowl cuts?
Yeah.
Hell, I didn't even realize you had hair.
Yeah. No, it's up there, man.
It looks like he's got the car you do.
Yeah. It's about 12, 14 years up there. All sprayed up nice.
Chia.
It's funny that the four of us are like bald and you got all of that. And you don't do anything stylish with it whatsoever.
Beautiful look. Not one gray in it.
Oh, that's coming. Don't worry about that.
But, man, the beard.
Just for men works great, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm good, though. I don't want to be accused of that. Mike already takes enough of me in him.
Oh!
But I know Mike don't die that. I know.
That's right.
You can tell. You would be able to tell. He's
Yeah,
a lucky one.
Just because Capelli's jealous because he's got gray beard and a bald head doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
No 53-year-old guy's got a beard here, that black dude.
He looks like Santa Claus.
He called you 53.
I'm not 53, you retard. I'm 50. Oh, my God. I swear.
I'm not far behind you, brother. I'm not far behind you.
Yeah, I'll be 50 in a few months.
Yeah, you got me self-conscious now. Time to put on a hat.
Yeah, put
There you go.
Pink hat.
You just tore out 6 more of the fucking 23 hairs you got left.
Oh, my God.
I already shaved it anyway, so it's not like I can't go bald, man. I already got that.
It's all good.
At this
Oh,
age,
good enough.
It's all good.
Wait a minute, Fingers, you're older than me, aren't you?
yeah,
What's that?
How old are you, Fingers?
51. I'll be 52.
Then shut your
What
face.
year were you born? 71?
70.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, George is a year younger than I am. And
Yeah, George was born in 71.
Yeah. Is Mickey Biggs the elder statesman here?
I'm 48, brother.
Oh, shit. I'm the old time. Huh?
Yep. Then Mike, then me, then Mickey Biggs, and then Pelly.
How old's Pelly?
41.
42.
Oh! All right.
Pelly's
I
only.
didn't think he was that old.
I was going to say, I thought you were like fucking 49 or something.
Wow!
Yell at him, Pelly. Yell at him.
All right. Before anybody else's hearts and feelings get broken, I say we call it a night. We'll see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. with the Elimination Chamber breakdown and the prospective road to WrestleMania for Jason Rumble, Adam Jack Pelly, Stiff Mike King, the producer Mickey Biggs, and as always, the Dog King, the Pink Cat, Jimmy Fingers, 2 for the stink, 2 for the pink. We'll catch you tomorrow night, everyone, and continue to support Pro